Well, good evening. Today is Friday the 13th, and February 13th, 2026, and this is $5 in the world. And I just wanted to come back on because I took the holidays off, and I've been spending time compiling transcripts from all the other YouTube channel videos I've done because so many of you thought that the commentary would help flush out the chapters. So now I have everything that I read in writing, and now I've got a pretty big stack of papers to go through and edit and revise all those chapters. And I'm excited about the project. And I finally found somebody who was enthusiastic about helping me edit this. The editing process is something new to me. I've had people, like when I wrote papers in school and other projects and pro formas for business and things like that, I've always had somebody take a look at it and just make sure there were no glaring errors or anything like that. But I've never had anyone edit my work and help me, expand my thinking or look at it a different way or reframe things or all the things a good editor does for a writer. And so it'd be that just like so much of the rest of this journey, that's going to be a whole nother new experience for me. But I'm confident in the person I talked to, interviewed with her today, and I feel like she'll do a good job. I have a couple other people to talk to, but right now it feels like I'm going to be working with her. And I'm excited about it because I want to see what the opinion of someone who doesn't know my dad or know anything, like you all have, found the stories and the sayings and the wisdom and the worldviews to be compelling and interesting. I want to see how she thinks of it too as a book, that because she has done publishing work for commercial work, like stuff that's been sold, retail. And I just want to get her opinion on what does she think of the story, the style, and all that. As far as would it sell? I think you and I agree. Those of you who've been following along and been so supportive, I think we think so. But it'll be interesting to get somebody involved too that doesn't really know me that well or any of the rest of it, and just see what a disinterested observer thinks. I know a lot of you are kind of rooting for me and so forth, praying for me, and I'm so grateful. I just want to see, this is the next step of it, to rewrite the chapters based on the notes, your comments, new insights, talking to my brother and a few other people, plus the commentary that I've got downloaded, and roll that out to her and revise chapters and see what it looks like. And once we get through that process, then we'll pretty much, from what I can tell, pretty much have a book that just needs then to be bound and turned into something that can be published, and on from there. But getting ahead of myself a little bit, but it has helped to see what the end goal is. But the next step then is for me to rewrite these chapters, get some help with this from this editor, and really fine tune this to where it's something that we can take out into the world, so to speak. So this is a really short one because I haven't done the editing yet, but I just started it, and it's going to be a fun thing. And you guys were right. Some of the commentary that came as I was reading it to the chapters themselves really does add some nice depth and detail and color to the story that I told in the first draft. So thank you, those of you that encouraged me to do that and suggested it. And another thing that was cool with all of that was a learning experience. I learned how to take video and get it edited and to convert it to a transcript. Now, people that mess with this stuff all the time, that's pretty easy to do, but it was completely uncharted territory for me. But I figured it out. Again, it's not super hard, but it was still a learning, and the frustration of the learning curve and sticking with it and learning some shortcuts, and just learning is good. Learning is actually, I think it's a good idea. I was challenged to do this a while ago, is to set new things to learn periodically throughout your year, just for the mental gymnastics of it and for the sense of achievement of it, is just learn new things. Challenge yourself to learn something new. Bear with the frustration of the learning curve. Learn to be okay about not being perfect. trust the lag, the gap between deciding to do something and learning how to do something. It's good for us. When we were kids, we did it naturally. We just were sponges. You say that all the time about little kids. It's like they're just a sponge. They just absorb everything. They want to learn everything. They always ask why, and we can lose some of that. We often do lose a lot of that as we get older and older, and we get rust. We rust in our competency. We find what we're good at. We hammer that down, and we stay in that comfort zone as much as possible. And there's some sound reasoning for doing that, but I don't think we want to stay there 24/7, because then you can get stale, then you can get complacent, then you can get kind of cut off from what's new and exciting and what's different. So I think my goal going forward is to like really hone my craft, whatever I'm doing, continue to work on my core competency, get better and better at things that I'm doing, and then save time and energy for learning something new and going through all of that. And I think use both sides of the brain, use the curiosity plus the excellence, and come up with new ways of doing things and see what kind of output you get from mixing competency with learning, excellence with inexperience, and just keep growing that way, staying fresh, staying challenged, and staying curious. So that was a really nice side benefit of doing this project, is finding out there's things I didn't know and I needed to know, and kind of reaching around, asking around, ask questions sooner in the process, not later. It's a big win for me to learn to do that more and more. Reminding myself that success leaves clues. Other people have already done what I'm trying to do, and some of them do it really well, and I can learn from what they've already done. I don't have to figure it out all by myself. It's foolish to try. I have to do it by myself, but I don't have to learn how by myself. And I think this is just really good reminders, another way to live out those principles that the book is actually about. And that's been a blessing in itself. Looking forward to sitting down with my brother and a few other people that knew Dad really well and going over this with them and seeing if in one more round I might be able to pick up a few more things. We're planning a weekend getaway trip with my brother and my half brother, who knew my dad pretty well as well, from a different perspective. And the three of us, it's not the only thing we're going to do when we're away for the weekend, but it's one of the things I'm going to make sure is part of our conversation. And I know they're willful participants because they both know about the project. So that's going to be cool too. And that's probably going to be end of February or later in March. So a lot of things going on with the project. It's been quiet on YouTube for a couple of months because of holidays, and I just wanted to take a break from it as I regroup and prepare myself for this next step. And so this is just kind of a place marker to get me back on the YouTube channel. I'll be back next week with at least one, if not two, of the chapters edited and ready to be reread. And if you bear with me, I'll do that, and we can go through that together, and look forward to your feedback to think if you like it better than the original, the first draft, and just bear with me on the journey, and I hope I'll try to make it worth your while. I know it's definitely been worth it for me, and I just thank you all for being here, commenting, sharing, telling others about it, and I look forward to seeing how this next phase goes. That's it for now. Thanks again for tuning in and getting back in the groove with me. I'll see you again next week.